Good afternoon. My name is Kimberly Harbert, and I'm with Drama Kids of San Diego. And I'm excited to talk to you about developmental drama. In a minute, Tomiko Nichols, all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, is going to talk about why drama is the A in STEAM. Developmental drama is different than performance drama. We don't focus on memorizing scripts or auditioning. In fact, there's no auditions. Instead, we focus on skill-based learning. So we use drama as a tool to teach leadership, collaboration, how to speak with conviction and courage. Developmental drama is child-based versus audience-based. So our goal is not to put children in the spotlight, but rather create an environment that they can be fully self-expressed. So whether they're shy, analytical, whether they're extroverts or outgoing or reserved, Drama Kids classes are for everyone. When we do a performance, it's to give students practice to be in front of a live audience. This is going to help prepare them for when they need to give a book report in front of their classmates or to present a science fair project. Later on, they're going to use these skills for interviewing for college or interviewing for jobs, maybe even to have the courage to ask for a raise. These types of enrichment programs can be taught at schools or also community centers. But it's important to teach our children these skills now so that they can be successful. So, Tomiko, why is drama the A in STEAM?
All right, I'll tell you why. As the owners of Developmental Drama Education Program, we fully support STEAM education. I'm a total sci-fi geek myself. I'm both left brain and right brain. I'm a whole person, just like STEAM addresses the whole person. That's why we're such strong advocates of arts in general and the dramatic arts in particular as being a part, an integral part of education. Because what is science without creative thinking and risk-taking? What is technology without design and logistics? What is engineering team do you know has no leader or has no team building skills? And what is math but problem solving and the root of music? Before starting Drama Kids, I was a web application developer at Verizon Wireless. For 15 years I was there. When I was in the 8th grade, there was no such thing as a web application developer. There was doctor, lawyer, nurse, military, beautician. 95% of the jobs, the careers that children want now, are not going to be there when they grow up. So, how do you prepare for a world that's changing and innovating every 20 minutes? Well, in my case, my advancement was due to my drama skills. Take a look at these skills. Oral communication, concentration, self-confidence, risk-taking. These are drama skills. These are also the skills that you see on job postings. CEOs love to hire theater managers. Up here, these are some reasons why. Because we're enthusiastic go-getters. We know how to meet a tight deadline. We know how to meet difficult challenges. We have excellent human relations and communication skills. Up here, these are some actual job postings that I pulled offline. Robotics engineer, civil design engineer, marine biologist. A robotics engineer has to have the ability to interact with all levels of users. A marine biologist has to have empathy, professionalism. And practically every single job posting I went to said they had to have excellent oral communication skills. This is important because of the way that we work today. We don't work in silos today. We don't need to be experts in everything, so we don't need silo skills. We need the ability, we need to know how to identify these experts, bring them together, relate to them, and create together. Collaboration means that the skills that are the most helpful are the ones that help us relate to others. It's more important than memorizing the Encyclopedia Britannica and taking a standardized test afterwards. I'm just saying. I just chaperoned a field trip for my 9-year-old twins to the Bradley Observatory at Agnes Scott College. This plaza in front of them, this amazing design, is actually an exact replica of our solar system and our planets in their orbits. This simple, elegant design in the concrete that we thought was just a bunch of shapes, nice shapes of arcs and circles on the ground, is actually in perfect proportion to all of the heavenly bodies in our universe. Now, one person couldn't have pulled this off. We had to have an artist and an astronomer. Now, the astronomer could have done it alone, but it would have been accurate, but maybe not as aesthetically pleasing. The artist could have done it alone. It would have been beautiful, but possibly not as accurate. This is collaboration. These two people did not have to pull from both sides of their brains. They got to pull from the part of their brains that makes them the happiest. These two people, it was more important that they had the skills to relate to each other, to communicate their ideas, their intentions, their expectations clearly and confidently. Let me tell you about Leo. Leo is a brilliant, painfully shy 9th grader. He loves building bridges. He loves bridges. He builds them all the time in his basement alone with his dog. He builds bridges out of everything. So, of course, he's going to take his physics and his math classes. But then, he's got to actually try to get that engineering job. He's got to learn to communicate with his design team to create the blueprints. He's got to present his ideas to his supervisor and convince him that his design is the most stable one. And before he even does that, he's got to go through the hiring manager, who likely knows nothing about building bridges. He is not going to be relying on his physics knowledge to get his foot in the door. He needs to learn to speak up clearly and confidently with conviction and poise to sell himself. He needs to learn to communicate his needs to a diverse team, not only to get them, but to keep them on board with his vision. He needs to learn to complete a task on someone else's timetable. Leo needs drama skills to create that bridge. Now, the good news is that these skills that are not focused on in school, can be taught. And drama is fun. Our developmental program is high energy, fun, and we all know, because we're at STEAM, that kids learn best when they're having fun. Behavioral problems go down. We all know this. What you may not realize is that people believe that drama is about learning to be someone else. It's not. Drama is about learning who you are and communicating that to the world. Our drama program creates an environment of collaboration, inclusion, and safety. We make it a safe place for kids to take these risks that they need to learn to take. The best time for kids to learn this is now when they're kids. And the best way for them to learn all these skills they need, the leadership abilities, strategic thinking, creative thinking, flexibility, adaptability, all of that is through drama skills. And we don't do it just by lecturing about social and emotional educations and psychological empathy. No, that's boring. We learn by doing, like this. All right, everybody, on your feet. I want everybody on your feet. I want to show you something. Come on, guys, on your feet. Come on, you can do this. On your feet. So this is a speech skill activity that was created by one of our Drama Kids owners in San Antonio, Texas, Sandra Dattamore. Shout out, Sandy. You know about Wizard of Oz? Everybody knows the Wizard of Oz. We're going to use those characters to learn about timbre and pitch, resonance, and volume. So, listening first, we're going to use our head resonator. That's when you take your voice really up high, get really up high, like the Munchkins or Glinda the Good Witch. So come on, you can do this. All right, listening first. Follow the yellow brick road with me. Follow the yellow brick road. Come on, by yourself. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. Now we're going to move it on down to our nasal resonator. That's when you talk like you're holding your nose, but you can't use your hands. And we're going to use the Wicked Witch of the East, the Wicked Witch of the West, to pull this one off. Listening first. Surrender, Dorothy. With me. Surrender, Dorothy. By yourself. That's it. Now we're going to move it on down to our chest resonator. That's the resonator that you use when you want to exude confidence and instill confidence in others. Listening first, we're going to be the wizard, the whiz. I am the great and powerful Oz. With me? I am the great and powerful Oz. By yourself? Perfect. All right, now we're going to move it on down to our rib cage resonator. Our rib cage. Now, if the boys can get up high like that, then girls, you can get down low. All right? So we're going to be the cowardly lion this time. Listening first. Put 'em up, put 'em up, put 'em up. With me? Put 'em up, put 'em up, put 'em up. By yourself? That's right. Got to get on down. Get that rib cage resonator. All right, you guys can have a seat. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. These are some of my students. Some of these students are bouncing off the walls, so they need to learn how to channel that creative energy. Some of them are painfully shy, afraid to speak up in class. They know what 247 billion times 792 jillion is, but if you ask them what is 2 plus 2, they clam up. Some of these kids can get categorized. They get marginalized. They get isolated. They end up being targets for bullies. They end up at risk for suicide simply because they lack the confidence to stand up for themselves or to speak up and talk to an adult and let them know what's going on. I had one student, he's in the top photo, he didn't speak for 2 weeks during the summer. His mom brought me to his class, to my class. By the end of the year, by the time we got to this performance, he was asking for more lines. He would only give me sound effects and maybe one-word sentences in the beginning. In the bottom picture, I have one kid who has mild autism, as well as a kid who ended up getting a talent agent. And they were both able to flourish in this class because every kid develops at their own pace. We cast not by auditions, but by developmental needs. Young lady in the top picture, she was the shortest in her class, and she's usually the shortest in all of her classes. I cast her as the pirate captain because she needed to understand that just because she's short didn't mean that she could not command respect. I cast the same play with another young lady who was very tall for her age. She walked around like this, very uncomfortable with her body. So I cast her as the captain so that she had to walk around like this, arms akimbo, taking up all of the space that she deserved. Her father came up to me after that performance, and he says, I cannot believe that was my daughter. Those are the moments us drama teachers live for, I'm telling you. How many times have you thought, if I only knew then what I know now? Well, now is the time for these kids to learn these skills because just that activity, you felt silly doing that activity. But for kids, silly is celebrated. And while they're being silly, the learning sneaks in. Joy Ito, who is the head of media, who's the head of the media lab at MIT, he said in his TED Talk that education is what others do to you. Learning is what you do for yourself. I thought that was brilliant. Having the skills that you need to learn is far better than an education that someone else decides for you. Having a map is not as good as having a compass. A map will tell you where Houston is and where Alaska is, but a compass can tell you how to get there and anywhere else that you want to go. This guy got me out of my corporate job. That quote right there, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They know what you truly want to become. Steve Jobs did not get to where he was by just being smart. He had to be more than smart. He had to be a leader. He had to be able to get not only the best work out of his people, but to get them on board and get their support and their commitment. He had to be a strategic thinker and a risk taker. He had to speak so that others would listen to him. Guess what? These are drama skills. All successful people have drama skills. If you are happy, you'll be successful, not the other way around. It's just like they say, do what you love and the money will follow. Don't get so focused on the cheese that you forget about the trap. Focusing on your happiness by knowing yourself, trusting your decisions, trusting yourself, and communicating that confidently to the world is the key to success. And at Drama Kids, we set the stage for success. It is my joy, my honor, my great pleasure to bring this Drama Kids program to my kids in Atlanta because I know that I'm making a difference in their lives. And with Drama Kids, the difference is dramatic. Thank you.